funded rape crisis centers for a number of years through the budget, and most of their funds are derived from federal, state, and local funds. And so this is about one of their only sources of funding. They've seen a steady decline through this bad economy of private funds. And, I think most of you, if you've had contact, know that what these centers are doing is good things in the help and the prosecution of crimes again for rape and sexual assault. That most of these people, like I want to take for example in Sumter, that we have, they have come over, they have trained our nurses over there to do forensic examinations, which help with court. They've also got victim services in which they help people with providing victim assistance throughout this. And I think this is something that is very beneficial to us. It helps in the prosecution of sexual assaults. It helps people who are victims in this, and I would ask that this body override this veto.
Ms. Brady is recognized to speak on the veto.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't come up often, and I know you always say, oh, it must be about children, it must be about women, because Representative Brady is up there. Well, in this instance, I'm going to be speaking to overriding this veto because guess what? It's about women and it's about children. What you sometimes do not realize is half of all of the rape victims in South Carolina are children. And what makes our 15 rape crisis centers so very important across the state, that is the point where these children and these women are going to get the needed counseling and the needed healing that they need. I'm just going to share with you very quickly. Yesterday, I had the pleasure, if it's a pleasure, of attending a news conference with directors from your rape crisis centers from throughout the state, and Representative Sellers was there with me as well. More importantly, there was a group of survivors, rape survivors that were there, and they were sharing their stories. And very quickly, so you know what the mission is of these rape crisis centers, when a person, a woman, a child finds themselves in a situation of having been raped, one of the survivors, one of the victims stated she had to go into a hospital, into a dark, dark hallway, and then into a bright, bright room with an examining table, people that she didn't know. And all of a sudden, someone came up to her and said, I am here for you. I am your advocate. I am with the Rape Crisis Center. That's the difference that these make. I think it was explained the Rape Crisis Centers have seen a 50% decrease in their funding. So this is an attempt to reinstate some of the monies that they have lost over the past 3 years. Unfortunately, rape has not decreased. We've seen a 25% increase in the number of rapes in South Carolina. So I have to respectfully disagree with the governor's veto, and I also respectfully disagree with the language that was used in this veto when it was said that rape victims represent only a small percentage of our population that require our support. It doesn't matter whether it's 5 people, 5,000, or 500,000 women or children. And the message that we need to send is also in direct correlation with the message that the governor sent. Being a survivor of rape does not make you a distraction in government. And the message we need to send in overriding this veto is survivors of rape, you are not a distraction. You are a priority and a valued priority to South Carolina. Thank you.
Okay. Vote green to override. Vote. Mr. Brown's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also, like Representative Brady, take issue with the language that our governor used in her veto message to refer to victims of rape in this state as a distraction is disgusting. You know what a distraction is? A distraction is firing Darla Moore. A distraction is what she did with Amazon. A distraction is what she did with the Port of Charleston and sending that business to the state of Georgia. This is a disgrace, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a distraction. The governor should be ashamed of herself. Thank you.
The question is, shall the item become law, the veto of the governor, the contrary notwithstanding? Vote green to override, vote red to sustain. Roll call is ordered.
I'll let him speak. I won't do that. I'm not trying to duplicate all this. Do you mind doing that?
Have all members wishing to vote voted? Huh? Ms. Cobb-Hunter, would you like to vote on this? Would you like to vote? No. Clerk, I understand. Clerk will close the polls and tabulate. By a vote of 111 to 0, the House overrides the veto.